Hello and welcome to the latest podcast on the Blood Red channel. I'm Matt Addison, and for this episode I picked up the phone to speak to Guido Schäfer. Guido is currently the RB Leipzig correspondent for regional paper Leipziger Volkszeitung, the Paul Gorst of the Saxony region of East Germany, if you will. He was also a teammate of Jurgen Klopp during his time at Mainz in the late 1990s. Myself and Guido spoke about Klopp the player, stories from the dressing room at the time, and the Germans' journey at Liverpool so far, and then about Leipzig, Timo Werner, Julian Nagelsmann, and plenty more. Guido has so many tales to tell, he makes for a fantastic guest. Enjoy.
The Blood Red Podcast from the Liverpool Echo.
So I think Guido, we'll start obviously with Jurgen Klopp. As you say, you played with him at Mainz. Presumably, yes. You know him quite well then.
Yes. I know him very well. He was a very, very lovely guy as a teammate also, and we played from 1990 until 1996 together in the second division. And Jürgen was he had a very big mentality in his match, in his game. I think from the talent, perhaps fourth division. From the mentality, first division. And 1 and 4, it's second division, and is that he can do his mentally. He can I don't know the English word. Give to his team. All Klopp's teams are Klopp players. They have the mentality from Jurgen Klopp, and I think we saw it in Mainz, also in Dortmund, and now in Liverpool. They win their matches also with quality, but I think first of all with a big mentality.
Yes, it's something he talks about a lot, the mentality giants and that sort of thing.
Yes.
I mean, he said before himself that he wasn't the best player in the world.
Yes.
But, I mean, he must have been, a pretty good footballer to play even in the second division in Germany. That's still a very high level, isn't it?
I think he had 342 matches, caps in the second division, and if you play 300 matches, then it's not possible. You're totally blind as a footballer. He was a quite good footballer, but not so giftful. No big technique, no great dribbling, but he was very fast. He had a very good header, also a good tackle, and I told you, a good mentality. He gave 90 minutes. He's on fire, and he's on fire against the 90 minutes under fire, under pressure, and he fights against the players from the other team, also with the teammates in his own team and the referees, and he was very, very angry and he shouted out every minute. And yes, it wasn't so easy to play with this in the team, because he was on fire. And after the match, he was a lovely guy. He goes home to his family, to his wife, to his boy, and he never went out for a drink with us. Yes, there are two persons: the person Jurgen Klopp in the field and out of the pitch.
He sounds almost, when he was playing, he sounds almost like a very English player. Like he's maybe not the best with the ball, but he's very strong, and he'll give everything.
Yes. I think also English style. Yes. Yes.
Maybe he didn't have the same quality as some of the players that he manages now with Liverpool. But was he the kind of player that he would have liked to have managed himself?
I asked him as a journalist, Jürgen, what's you as a coach, what would you say to the player Klopp? And he told me, please search a new sport for you, but not football.
Yeah, I mean, he must have been quite a character in the dressing room. Are there any good stories that you remember from the time?
There are many stories, many. Sometimes he smokes sometimes, only no drinks, but sometimes he smokes. And in one day he asked the coach, Hermann Hummels. He was our coach. Do you know Hermann Hummels? It's the father from Mats Hummels from Bayern München.
Yes, yeah.
He asked him in the team bus, Hermann, do you have a cigarette for me? In the second division professional team, he asked the coach, "Do you have a cigarette for me?" It was like legendary.
What was the coach's reaction?
Yes, he had a cigarette for him, but they smoke when we have interruption, and then on the I don't know the word, autobahn. They smoke not in the bus, out of the bus.
Yes,
Out of the bus. Yes, and yes, Jürgen was very, very. You know him from his interviews. He was very fast in his head, and intelligent guy. He studied also, I think, sports or sports economics. He was, footballers are not so. The most of the footballers are not so interested in other things. They are not so intelligent out of the pitch. They think about girls and cars and watches, Rolex. He was another guy, the opposite of a normal professional player. He was married with 20 years as a professional, married with 20, and has a son also with 20 or 21, and yes, and a great responsibility for his family, and therefore he come to the pitch training, and after the work, he went away home to his family, and but in the bus and in the training camps we have a good laugh every day with him. It's very nice humor. I think also very English humor, also a black humor. Sometimes you know him. It's nice to speak with him. It's nice to hear his stories. But as a player, he was a listener in the bus when we drove to the matches, and he listened my stories. I was a nightlife man, and I had no wives. I had wives, many of them, and I told some stories from my nightlife, and he had a good laugh, and he was a great listener and not a great storyteller. And nowadays, yes, his stories are legendary, and he's like a comedian. I think sometimes he could make every comedian style in our television here in Germany, perhaps also in England. We love him, and we all ex-Mainz players. We are very proud about Jurgen Klopp because he's a world-class coach, and he comes from this little Mainz to go up to the best coach in the world, one of the best.
Yes, definitely. I mean, he's exactly the same off the pitch, isn't he? Compared to, away from football, what we see of him on camera, on television, in interviews and things like that. That's not an act. That's very much how he is off the pitch as well.
Yes. I think in German the word is Authentizität, authentic. He's very authentic man, and I think the nicest thing you could ever say about a man who goes to a very famous man is he doesn't change his mind. He's nowadays also a lovely guy, and with a great heart. And this is I think this is worthful to say this. Jurgen Klopp is still the lovely guy when he was 20, and he was a second class player with no money.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously you know him from when he was a player. Was it obvious that he would become a coach?
No, never.
Even though he studied and he was that kind of character, did you never think?
When he was a coach, he told the press that he thought as a coach when he went during his career as a player. And I told you, I never recognized that you have the mind of a coach. You make so many tactical faults in your match. You are not a coach. You never be a coach. But yes, no, he was as a player. We played together in the defense, and and I think no one thought that it's possible that Jurgen will be a great coach. But yes, it's a nice fault.
How do you think that he's changed then as a coach from Mainz, then to Dortmund and now Liverpool? Is he the same coach now that he was when he first started, or is he different?
No, I think every coach learned in his career, and Jurgen is very intelligent. He's looking in every detail, every coach, every match. What is good for me, for my team, and I know, for example, when he was a Dortmund coach, they lost one match in Hoffenheim, 1-4, and they had no chance. Dortmund has a little bit old team with Frey as a forward, Alex Frey, 32 years or 33, and there was no pace, no pace in the team, and Hoffenheim was a complete difficult, not the complete opposite. With under Ralf Rangnick, they played pressure all over the field, high fast players, and it was a new style in the Bundesliga, which bring Ralf Rangnick. And Klopp said, I think it was 2008, he told others after the match, he said, this style I want to play with my team. And then he began to change his team. He made it younger, faster, with a stronger mentality, and on the end he got the title twice in 2010 and 11, or 11 and 12, I don't know exactly. He's a great learner, and he's thinking in every detail and picking his things for his team and for his career. This is Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, definitely. He seems to have mapped those things out. I mean, you mentioned before that it was a surprise that he became a coach. It must then be even more of a surprise that he's become such a good coach, because, as you say, he's one of the best in the world, if not the best.
Yes. Now I think we saw then when he came to coach in Mainz in 2001, the first 2 or 3 games, I think they won twice and one draw, and the mind of the team was completely other, in a strong and a big brain, a big mentality. First, not great tactic, but they had the mentality with the first match under Klopp. They played aggressive, and they played with a great foot, with a big heart, and then I think he said, okay, mentality is important, but not there are some things I need more than mentality. I need a tactic. I need more tactics, and what can I play? And I think he's also a great champion to collect a team, the team, the squad, the players, and also the team against the team, like physiotherapy, video analysts, the assistants. He has a good eye to see this is good for my team, this is good for the squad, and therefore I think now in Liverpool, is a perfect squad, all the players and the administration, and this is Klopp. He's the boss, and he has to make many decisions every day, and most of the decisions are very good. Sorry, my English is not perfect.
No, that's absolutely, that's fine. No, I completely understand that. I mean, I don't know how much you know about Željko Buvac's assistant.
Yes,
I mean, did he play at Mainz as well? Am I right in saying that? So, I mean, what was the relationship between them like? Because they obviously worked together for a long time, but then split up, didn't they?
They played very long time together, and then they, I think, his first job in Mainz, Jürgen is a chief, and Željko was his assistant. And Željko Buvac was called in the brain, the trainings program. It's I think that this was Željko Buvac's job, the trainings process and exercises, and he's also a genius in this way, but I don't know why they divorce this nice relationship, this nice marriage in Liverpool. Do you know why they go out? they?
No, there's been some speculation, but it's never really been clear. I don't think we'll find out until maybe Klopp has retired. I don't know, but I mean, it was certainly a shock for us that Buvac departed.
Yes.
Was it a shock for you knowing them?
Yes, also a shock. But some people thought that without Željko Buvac, there's Jurgen Klopp only 50%. But 1 year later, he won the title in the Champions League. Huh? I think. Yes. His stuff is legendary. Jurgen Klopp's stuff is legendary. They are very good workers and talented. And this is very important as a boss, that you collect good men, also women in the team and in the club. And I think this is also like Ralf Rangnick, also a man who said, I need experts on the field and out of the pitch, experts, the best on every Stellschraube. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Ralf Rangnick there. Is he someone that Jurgen Klopp has really looked up to and tried to almost copy his style throughout his career?
I think Ralf Rangnick inspired Jurgen Klopp's style to play football, and this is Jurgen Klopp said this is no problem. I saw the match from Hoffenheim. I saw the idea from the match from Hoffenheim under Ralf Rangnick, and I said, yes, this is nice, and not copy, but a kind of this match, a kind of this style. I want to play with young, fast players, and players who don't ask why should I run so much, so why should I run so fast. No, they have to do it. They have every player has to do his job, and Jürgen said we have to invest more in a match than Bayern Munich, and because of this investment, Dortmund won the title in Germany twice, because the quality of Bayern was in 2011 and 2012 much higher than from Dortmund. But the brain, the power, and the investment from Dortmund was higher, on a higher standard, and therefore they won the title. And I don't know if Liverpool the best team in Europe last year. I don't think so. I think perhaps the quality from Barcelona was higher, but the mentality and the pace and you know what I mean. The brain was bigger. The mentality from Liverpool won this title.
The Blood Red Podcast from the Liverpool Echo.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant on Jurgen Klopp. And I mentioned Ralf Rangnick there as well, obviously now works with the Red Bull Group. And I know that you cover RB Leipzig as well. And I have to ask you about Timo Werner. Just obviously Chelsea have got themselves the player, it looks like. Liverpool not prepared to pay the money.
Yes. Okay.
Would you say Chelsea have got themselves a bargain there? Or how do you assess that deal?
I think it was a surprise that Timo Werner said yes to Chelsea, but also I think it's a very good deal for both, for the player, for Timo, and also for Chelsea. And Chelsea was able to pay the fee, and also I think a great advantage from Chelsea was that they showed Timo, we want you, we love you. And I heard from Timo that Frank Lampard called him nearly every day in the last few weeks. And Timo is a player. He needs the love from the club, that he knows they wanted me and not another player, and I'm worthful for them. And then he said yes to this also legendary club. And I think as a club is also attractive because they want to climb up to Liverpool in 1 or 2 years, and yes, it's okay from Timo Werner. And I think also it's good money for him, 10 million a year. Okay, London is expensive. He needs the money also.
Yes, definitely. I mean, just in terms of the build up to the transfer, I mean, everyone was saying how perfect Werner was for Liverpool, but is he perfect for Chelsea as well?
He is. I called. He's perfect for Liverpool. Yes, it's still my opinion, but in Liverpool, you know, the players in the forwards, they are all world class players, 3 of them, and perhaps Timo also thought, okay, I'm visiting perhaps the bench in Liverpool sometimes, and in Chelsea, it's very clear that he's the one and only as a forward, and he will play every game, every match, and he needs this also for his self-confidence. And Timo is, I called you, a very, very nice and tough guy, but he needs the love also. Every player needs love, but especially Timo Werner. The feeling, I am the man.
Okay, yeah, then no, that makes perfect sense. I mean, it seems like he always preferred Liverpool to Chelsea, but Liverpool maybe didn't make him an offer in the end. Do you think if Liverpool had come in, would he have picked Jurgen Klopp instead of Frank Lampard? Do you think?
I don't know exactly if Timo has an offer from Liverpool. I don't think so. I think you said it. It's a problem of the money, perhaps from the 50 million or 60 million euros. It's very much, and for a player who is not the number one in the squad, it's very much money. And perhaps they will wait 1 or 2 years. 1 or 2 good years in Chelsea, it's also for Timo possible to make then the next step. I think this step to Chelsea is the right step for his career. But when he bring a good performance, and then it's possible to make the great step to the world-class club, Liverpool or Real Madrid or Barca.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it is obviously a step up, but do you think then that's likely that he maybe will end up at maybe Real Madrid or Barcelona in future, even though he's moved to Chelsea now? You think there could be more moves in the future?
He's 24. He's just 24, Timo, and yes, he's. I told you also he's never injured, never. He's every match he's fit, and he can play until he's 35. He's fast and furious, and he's not a great training man. Not every training session he gave 100%, and therefore is for one reason. Therefore is fit on Sundays or on match days. He's fit and he brings 100% performance. Yes, I'm sure that it's not the last club for Timo Werner, but perhaps we don't know if he will reach a title or titles with Chelsea. Yes, perhaps he's also finishing his career there, but in his body there are many years of professional football. Still many years. I think he can also play 8 or 9 years further.
Yeah, Chelsea is certainly a club heading in the right direction as well.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know how much you know about the actual deal that will take place, but I mean, there has been some talk and some speculation that Leipzig wanted the full 60 million euros to be paid in one go rather than in installments, as would normally be the case. I mean, do you know if that's true at all?
No, I don't know the details from this deal, but it's not. I think it's not 60. I had a contact with a man who's very near in this deal, and he said it's 50 million. Okay. And from this 50 million, RB has to pay, I think 10% to Stuttgart, to the former club from Timo Werner, and therefore they reach then I think 40 million euros, and yes, I think so. They want the money in one tranche. As they want the 40 millions, yes, or the 50 millions. They want it in one way, not in 3 or 4 years. Yes, they need money. Also, RB Leipzig. They have to get money now, and but I don't know these details from the contract. I don't know. I know that it's perfect. Timo called me also. I gave him them congrats with SMS, short message.
Yes. Yeah.
And he said, thank you. It's the right decision. And also his manager, Karl-Heinz Förster, said Chelsea is the right club now for us.
And just to check on the 50 million, is that 50 million euros you're talking about? So euros. What's that, 42 million pounds, something like that? I think, off the top of my head anyway. But I mean, Liverpool haven't made too many mistakes in the transfer market under Jurgen Klopp. But do you think this is a deal that maybe they could regret at some point?
Yes, it's possible. Yes, it is possible. I don't know. I think that the most of the decisions from Jurgen Klopp are 100% right decisions, and perhaps he will wait 1 or 2 years and said, I want to see Timo in the Premier League. I want to see his performance in this special league. Is he able to bring his performance like in the Bundesliga? And then he said, okay, after 2 years, come on now to the Anfield Road, Timo. We need you now. We love you now. I don't know. I think Jürgen is very, very intelligent, and he knows everything in the football, and there are no regrets in his life, I think. No.
The Blood Red Podcast from the Liverpool Echo.
The other sort of RB Leipzig person that I would like to sort of ask you about is Julian Nagelsmann, someone who's been impressing in the Bundesliga now for a long time, really, with Hoffenheim and now with Leipzig as well. I mean, how highly do you rate him? How good is he?
I think he's also kind of a genius as a coach. But yes, and every genius loves himself. He loves his... Julian loves Julian, but he is skillful. He's talented. He's powerful, and sometimes perhaps it's he forces too much from his team. Too many tacticals. I think he knows 20 or 25 tactical formations. Sometimes it's one tactical formation too much, but he is a very, very good coach, and also he has good humor like Jürgen. And he's 32. It's crazy. I think we will hear a lot of much from his English is perfect. Sometimes he will coach I don't know, Chelsea, Arsenal, or Bayern Munich. He's very, very good coach, and this is one advantage from Leipzig, that the best coach is sitting on a bench in Leipzig.
Yes, definitely is. Is he in any way similar to Jurgen Klopp in the way that his teams play, do you think?
I think so, yes. He's also he wants the ball. He also pressing, but not pressing all over the field, all over the pitch. And I think Liverpool also only in some areas, pressing zone areas, and also aggressive in the defense. And I think the idea from the match is quite similar. And the players have to be very intelligent to make this also sometimes difficult tactics to show the coach there. Yes, we are intelligent enough to make this coach. It's not easy to work under such coaches. They want all of you in every day, in every second, in every training session, in the match, and but therefore you get a better player and you earn a lot of money.
Yes, definitely. You mentioned that he sort of loves himself a little bit, and he has been called the new Jose Mourinho at times. Yeah. Is that accurate, do you think? Do you think he is like Mourinho?
No. Yeah, perhaps I don't know the relationship between Mourinho and his players, but I know there's the big difference in the relationship with the press, with the journalists, and I think Mourinho is very arrogant and yes. And sometimes a devil, but and Julian is the opposite. He's well. I like to work with him. He speak like a young man. If you have asked a question, he answers this question, and yes, this is nice. Yeah, no arrogance.
No, he's certainly got a big future ahead of him. Yes. And it'll be interesting. Do you think maybe Nagelsmann, after Jurgen Klopp has been at Liverpool, could he be an option for Liverpool?
Yes, he's an option for every team all over the world. I don't know what's Jurgen. What is he doing? He will stay in Liverpool 2 or 3 years. So I don't know. There's no challenge that's bigger than Liverpool. Well, what's Barcelona? No. Real Madrid? No. Perhaps in Germany, the national team. No, it's no job for Jurgen. He needs the contact with his players every day, and therefore I don't think so that he will follow Jurgen after Joachim Löw. I think he should quit in a few years, and that okay, nice life. I am a legend in Mainz. I'm a legend in Dortmund, and I'm a legend in Liverpool. And now I don't know. I love my wife, and I visit Guido in Leipzig, or I don't know.
No, we'll see what happens. Certainly, he won't be going anywhere before 2024 when his contract expires.
Yes.
But I'm sure Liverpool fans would like him to stay a bit longer. I mean,
Yeah.
just finally then on the Red Bull group, they seem to play a very distinct style of football. Could you describe to us what that football is like for Salzburg and for Leipzig?
I don't know if they're so similar between Salzburg and Leipzig. In former times, they played the same style, but now they are divorced a little bit. Jesse Marsch plays quite similar to Leipzig, but the Red Bull style. It's not the Red Bull style under Julian Nagelsmann. There's more impact. They want to have the ball. They want to play with the ball. And under Rangnick, for example, they make pressing, and directly in the box. The ball has to go directly in the box, vertical play. And under Julian Nagelsmann, also they make good combination, and they're waiting for their chance to play the pass in the box. And it's Red Bull style mixture with the ideas from Julian Nagelsmann. There's a new impact with him.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, definitely. How strong is the link then between the Red Bull group? You say that Salzburg and Leipzig maybe played similarly in the past, and maybe it started to move apart now. But is there still a strong bond within that group?
No, it's not. It's not so strong, because I don't know if you want in this to go in this direction. They had problems with the UEFA because of the nearness between the two clubs, and there are many players from Salzburg. They came to Leipzig, and it's I don't know. Is it allowed? It's not allowed now. They are two different clubs. And sometimes in former times it was like one club, and also with one chief. Ralf Rangnick was the chief from Salzburg and from Leipzig, and now they are divorced. I think there are contacts. There are still contacts, because the great boss who financed all of the clubs, Dietrich Mateschitz. Yes, there are contacts, but they are not so intense like before. And also, for example, when Leipzig want to have a player from Salzburg, in former times it was clear, okay, this player come from Salzburg to Leipzig. Nowadays sometimes a player comes from Salzburg and goes to Wolfsburg or goes to Gladbach and not to Leipzig. Yes. Yeah. There are still contacts, but they are not 100%.
Yeah, well, of course, Erling Haaland as well now at Borussia Dortmund.
The biggest example was Erling Haaland. Yes. It was a fault from Leipzig, I think, and this way they made a big mistake, because Erling played in Salzburg. In his first season, he scores twice, 3, 4, 5 goals in the Austrian league. But then in the second season under Jesse Marsch, he was a giant. And Jesse told also Leipzig, "Hey, I have a giant in my squad. Look at him." And I think in this time, before he started scoring the Champions League games, also against Liverpool. It was possible to say to Erling, come to Leipzig, we will give you a contract 4 million a year. Now he earned, I think, 500,000 a year in Salzburg. And I'm sure that Erling said, yes, okay, I will come in 2020 to RB Leipzig. But I think it was a great mistake, and now he's playing for Dortmund, and it makes sense. He will leave Dortmund in a few years, and they will reach 100 million bucks, and yes.
Well, okay. Guido, it's been really good to speak to you. Thank you very much for your time. We do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Really good to speak to you, and yeah, hopefully we can stay in touch for the future too.
Okay, my friend. Have a good day.
You've been listening to the Blood Red podcast from the Liverpool Echo.